Welcome GRD 130W1, History of Graphic Design, and this is going to be an exciting semester learning about the history of graphic design. I don't mean to be sarcastic. It's not the most exciting topic, but it will be a foundational course for other things we'll do in graphic design. So I'm just going to give you a little MyWarren tour right now, and we're looking at the announcements right now. I assume everybody knows how to log into MyWarren already, and like some of the other courses, there's the 3 announcements that are on here that are required: the finding your way through e-learning, which you don't need because I'm doing that right now. Technology needs. You don't need a whole lot of technology for this class. We don't even have a textbook that Cengage offers, although in the past I have put Graphic Design Solutions by Robin Landa as a book for here, but that's just because other graphic design classes use the book. It actually just has a small section with history in it, but we have a lot of online resources we'll be able to use. And as far as doing some hands-on exercises, doing some layout, working with logos and things like that, which we want to do because that'll be more fun than just reading and taking quizzes, which we will do a lot of that as well. But we'll use Gravit, which we used in computer graphics. We also use an Intro to Computing. It's a vector application that we could use to do some design work. So we'll use that. It's free, it's on the web, and it's easy to share things as well. So we're going to use that. So there isn't anything else you should need for history of graphic design. And as far as the welcome announcements, which make sure that you always use the read more. We start class February 1st. I'm sure you're aware of that. May 20th, we'll be here before you know it. So make sure you keep up with your assignments, and you don't want to be doing them when it's nice and warm out and you want to do stuff outside. I'll send you a contact email, even though I think we just have 7 people in this course. I'll do that like the other courses, just so I know I have your right email in MyWarren that you just reply to, and I give you 10 points for doing that. The syllabus is posted. We'll take a look at that. There will be a playlist. We'll have a playlist for the course. Let's check it out right now. There shouldn't be a whole lot in there. I think there's probably 2 things in there right now. We'll get some more in there. I'll put third-party stuff in here as well. But we'll have a video, graphic design purposes, that I also use for the Graphic Design 1 class. We have an exercise where we did coat of arms last time around. We'll do more exercises in there. So there'll be more stuff in here this time around. And of course, this intro will be in here as well. So let's take a look at the course information. I don't think there's a lot to look at here, other than I'll be putting office hours in here. I don't know if you'll need to meet with me for office hours. I can meet with you anytime, either using GoToMeeting or Zoom, but I will have posted virtual office hours here. So if there's times that are posted that you want to meet with me, you can do that. But otherwise, just email me and I can meet with you anytime if you need to go over anything. This is the syllabus. This is the syllabus addendum. I guess that's all you need to know right now. We can check out all the excitement here, and I put a note here about if this is the only course you're taking. I assume you're probably taking other courses, but if this is the only course you're taking and you don't need a Cengage book, you don't have to get this, because this one, again, just has a little bit of history in it, and it's not really a graphic design history book. But you could go through here and just see the kind of things that we're going to go over. Some of the stuff seems kind of boring, but we're going to try to throw some hands-on exercises in there so that we can focus more on advertising and things like that, and culture and stuff that isn't just the boring history in the beginning. There will be boring stuff in the beginning, but like I said, it's a good foundation to understand where you're going with both typography, with printing, with graphic design. All of that is kind of incorporated into here. Discussion board we will use for attendance because this is an online class. I don't have all the discussion questions set up yet, but we'll have one each week. So some of these say TBA, but we'll have these set up, and it'll be a chance for us to kind of interact a little bit. You will have a student introduction to put in here. You don't have to put a pic unless you want to. I appreciate when you put a pic because it's nice to know who the students are in my class other than just seeing a name, but it's not required like we do with a Photopea kind of exercise in some other class. So if you want to put a pic, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. Documents and resources, I don't have any handouts yet, but I will. We have a lot of bookmarks here because this is pretty much our book. There's 2 resources here that will serve as our book, and they're pretty comprehensive. This graphic design history is pretty comprehensive, even though it just looks like a website with 14 pages. Once you get into these, there's a lot of multiple pages inside here, so there's a lot of information. And the nice thing, it's free, it's easy to get to. If you're bored sometime, you could just go on your phone and read some of this. So that's one of our sources that we'll go into. You can see each chapter has a whole bunch of different pages in here. So it's not as short as you think when you first see it. There's also another graphic design history website, and this is actually by the author that does one of the graphic design history books that a lot of other schools use. But this is a pretty comprehensive site as well. So between these two things, we have a lot of stuff here, a lot of resources for us to read if you like reading. And we also have a lot of stuff here where there's a lot of websites, there's videos, smaller articles that'll be easier to read and easier to absorb things. So we'll throw things in little small groupings that I think will make it a little more interesting so that, we have an article that we could kind of discuss and do that. So I think that'll make it a little more interesting. But we do have a lot of resources here to work with. And let me put this in student view so it looks like the way you'll see it. This is the way you'll see it, whether you use it in these boxes or whether you have it in list view. But again, a lot of stuff here, a lot of resources to work with. Attendance, you don't have to worry about attendance except for doing the discussion boards. They will count as attendance. Course calendar, we won't use. Coursework, this is where we'll do our assignments. We'll have a student survey in the beginning, which I should have posted by the first day. We'll also have a student introduction. You'll return my email when I send out an email to the class. So just a couple basic things in the beginning. And then we'll do a lot of reading, quizzing. There'll be some of that before we do some hands-on work. So that's what we have ahead. It's probably not as fun as some of the other classes as far as some of the work, but I'll do my best to make it as fun as we can because I don't want this to be a boring class. If I'm bored, you'll be bored, so I'm going to try to make it as interesting as we can and get as much out of it as we can that serve as a foundation for other things you do. So we don't just want to have it as a course that's just, we have to take it because other four-year schools require a history of graphic design. We want to make it as interesting and as foundation building as we can. So I think that's it. We just have a little introduction here. Look for my verification email just to make sure I have the correct emails in MyWarren. And with that email, I'll send some week 1 assignments for us to start working on for this semester. So if you have any questions, let me know, but look forward to getting the semester started.